I've always been interested in how the built environment around us gets created. It's about trying to understand the places that I've come from, the place I was born, the place that I live in. And then I try to talk about this with my students. Look around. Why does the built environment look the way that it does? And there are lots of reasons. Many of them are legal, some are not. I think I took some inspiration from Jane Jacobs. The main lesson is you got to keep your eyes open. I'm Rich Schrager. I'm a longtime resident of Charlottesville and a professor at the UVA School of Law. I teach and study property and land use and local government. My main focus is on cities and metropolitan areas and how they develop and what kind of legal context they operate under. We want people in the university to study these kinds of issues because that can bring expertise to bear on very, very challenging problems. And we've seen that over and over again, both in Charlottesville, but also in the Commonwealth and in the nation. So one example is Confederate monuments in Charlottesville. There was a movement to remove those monuments, which were erected in the 1920s. And there was a state law that said you can't remove your monuments. And this is Dillon's rule, which says that local governments can only exercise the powers that are explicitly granted to it. And the reason the city put bags over the statues was because they were not sure that they could remove them. That controversy, we all know, sparked the Unite the Right rally here in 2017. In the early 1970s, there was worry about cities in Virginia, especially Richmond, becoming more dominated by racial minorities. And so there may have been a concern you'll have Black-dominated city councils making laws and having too much power. And so those kinds of racial concerns do have some impact on what looks like a technical decision about intergovernmental power. That is how much power you give to cities versus how much power the state gets to exercise. There are lots of issues, not just Confederate monuments, whether to regulate other kinds of pollutants, whether to adopt anti-discrimination laws, whether to allow unionization of your workforce, whether to adopt a minimum wage. We have far too many laws that tell local governments what they can't do than we should. There should be more room for local governments to be able to respond quickly to desires of their constituents. So where do I want to see Charlottesville in 20 years? I would hope that cities in Virginia, like Charlottesville, can gain some power over their own trajectories. And that's my wish for the city. Some more city power.